Hi, my name is Bren. Thanks for joining me in practice today. We have a meridian-focused yin yoga class. We'll be focusing specifically on wintertime and a water element. The organ systems that relate to water element are the kidney and urinary bladder organ systems, and those meridians run along the back of the body and the inner legs. So we'll include yin postures that both stretch and compress the back of the torso, the backs of the legs, and the inner thighs. If you'd like to learn more about what Meridian Yin Yoga is, you can click on this video up here to learn more. I also offer 5 times a year deep dive workshops where you can spend a bit more time in these Meridian Yin postures, and you'll have an opportunity to learn more about Taoist 5-element theory and the connection between yin yoga and traditional Chinese medicine. There are more yoga classes available in the video on demand library at practicewithbren.com. I'll leave all the information about workshops and classes in the description below. You won't need any props in order to participate in this class, but of course, if you have yoga props that you like to use at home, you can keep those close by. Our first couple postures will flow one into the next, so I'd like to show you where we're headed before we sink into our practice. I have 2 options for you for the first couple of postures we'll take today. Option 1 is your dangling pose or your ragdoll forward fold, moving into malasana or your yogi squat position. Option 2, you would take a bent leg caterpillar, seated forward fold, and move into either happy baby on your mat, or you can try happy baby or malasana squat supported by the wall. I'm going to demonstrate in option 1. When you're ready, settling into that forward fold. If you're choosing that standing forward fold, you can rest elbows on the knees and bring the torso about parallel to the floor. Or if a deeper inversion for another minute or so feels okay, you can rest belly on the thighs and point the top of the head down towards the floor. If you're choosing this standing variation, it's okay to let a little bit of movement happen here. You might gently sway side to side or observe the natural movements caused by your breath. You could count down about 6 more slow breaths here. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly, we'll start to transition into that happy baby variation. You might sink down into your squat or move towards the wall. We'll be another minute or so in this deep squat. If you're choosing this upright variation, you're welcome to soften and round forward. A wandering mind can come back towards the breath. You might notice if there's a particular location in the body where you feel the breath happening. 3, 2, 1. Slowly making your way towards a seat. We'll meet with legs extended ahead of us as we set up for our half butterfly. We'll keep the right leg extended straight ahead of us, and we'll bend the left knee, sole of the left foot somewhere on the inside of the right leg. Chest is going to stay forward towards the right foot. Start by getting really tall. And then start to round forward. You might imagine draping your belly and your ribs over that right thigh. You can point the forehead down towards the knee. Find a way to support yourself. Maybe hands touch down on the mat beneath you, or maybe you can rest forearms on your right thigh. In Yin practice, we're not pushing or pulling or trying to reach a certain destination. We're setting ourselves up in this direction and then letting the body melt down towards the floor. A wandering mind can come back towards the breath. Can you feel or hear the breath happening? We'll spend about 1 more minute here. Take a deeper, slower breath. And then really gradually start to climb your way upright. Once you're upright, it might feel nice to roll the shoulders back and down. Spend a moment between sides. See if you can locate where you feel your breath happening the most in your body. And we'll set up half butterfly on the other side. A left leg extended ahead of you, right knee bent, chest facing the left foot. As you're ready, start to drape yourself forward, rounding towards that left leg. Find the support you need from hands or props. And we'll prepare to spend about 2 minutes here. The intention is to rest in softness. I'd like to introduce our microcosmic orbit breath. Visualizing the breath. When you inhale, the breath moves up the midline of the back body, spine, back of the neck, back of the head to the top of the head. And when you exhale, the breath moves down the midline of the front of your body, face, neck, torso, belly, down to the base of your tailbone. Inhale, the breath moves up the back. And exhale, the breath moves down your front. Continue this visualization pattern. We'll talk a bit more about the microcosmic orbit later on. About 1 minute here. Three, 2, 1. Slowly press your way upright. We'll start to transition towards the long side of the mat for dragonfly or your wide-legged seat. This doesn't need to be as far apart as you could take your legs. Maybe this is about 80% of your maximum. Our intention is to be able to rest here softly. If you're clenching your fists or holding your breath, you're not doing yin yoga. Let's start with a little bit of a heart opener, back bend. Hands go behind your hips, fingertips touching down. Roll the shoulders back and open the chest up towards the ceiling. You can lift the chin. Shoulder blades towards each other on the back body. Let's take 3 of those deeper, slower breaths here. Start to release that engagement with the upper body. Fingertips touch down ahead of you, and now we'll start to round forward. Chin falls down towards the chest. Shoulders can round down towards the floor. Maybe the fingertips reach a little farther ahead of you. Entering this forward fold, I like to wobble a little side to side as I make my way deeper into the fold. Try to keep the lower body soft. Upper body melting down. Find the support you need from hands or props. Anytime the mind wanders away, you can kindly invite your attention to come back to the breath. Can you notice a particular sensation or sound associated with the natural rhythm of breath? Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring yourself upright. Take one of those deeper, slower breaths. You could use the help of the hands to gradually gather in the legs. After this big extension, it might feel nice to curl up into a little ball. And we'll start to make our way towards Sphinx pose, lying down on the belly, supported by forearms. Maybe elbows go beneath the shoulders. If that's too deep of a back bend, bring your chest closer down towards the mat. See if you can really soften muscles in the lower body. You might wobble the hips from side to side. Sometimes I like to rest my forehead in my hands. Find a sustainable place that you could spend another 2 minutes in some relative stillness. And we'll come back to our microcosmic orbit. When you inhale, visualize the breath moving up the midline of the back, over the top of the head. When you exhale, visualize the breath moving down the midline of the front body, down to the base of the spine. Inhale, up the back. Exhale, down the front. The name of this breath visualization, microcosmic orbit, also has a match, the macrocosmic orbit. So in Taoism and TCM, we consider a pillar of health to be the microcosm, the individual, a person's personal health, and the macrocosm, the universe, the environment, the outside world, being in balance or mirror images of each other. So when we consider our seasonal balance in this way, we can think about matching our inner world, our personal health, to that of the environment at the time, which of course is always changing. Finishing up about 3 more cycles of breath here. Transition slowly, bring the chest all the way down to the mat. You can stack the hands and rest the right cheek down on your hands. Heading to half frog, draw the left knee up along the floor, maybe up to about hip height. You might like some padding beneath the inner left ankle if you don't have a carpeted floor. And we'll soften here. Imagine the force of gravity helping to rest your body down onto the surfaces beneath you. And come back to sensation or movement caused by your breath. A wandering mind can come back to the breath. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really slowly bring your left leg back towards the midline. And we'll go right over to the other side. Left cheek resting down on your hands. Right knee draws up along the floor towards about hip height. See if you can soften any tension in the body here. Is there any unnecessary holding that you could release as you melt towards the floor? If the mind has become distracted, oh yeah, the breath. How does it feel or sound to breathe into the body? We have about 1 more minute here. Take a deeper, slower breath. And really slow, bring your right leg back towards center. Gather your arms in beside your body and start to roll over onto the back. Setting up for butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees open wide. You can adjust the sensation here by deciding how close to you or far away you place your feet. Find a comfortable place to rest the hands. Inviting softness throughout the body. This will be our final yin shape in this practice. Opportunity to return to your microcosmic orbit, visualization of the breath. Inhale up the back and exhale down the front for 2 minutes or so. remembering the breath. You might use the help of the hands to draw the knees back towards each other. And you can lift the feet, bring the legs close to the body. You might wobble side to side. And then roll to one side and press your way up to a seat. Take one slower, deeper breath. Thank you for joining me in practice today. All of that information about classes and workshops is in the description. If you're still watching, it would be really helpful if you hit like and subscribe to help me continue to make free content for you like this. Have a great day. Thank you.